What's up, guys? Corey Reich here. Last video we went over 5 key points to keep you on track with your health and fitness goals. Now, I'm going to address a question that I've been getting pretty much since I've started doing or competing in competitions, and that is, how do you get lean, or how do you get shredded? So I'm going to go over some of the questions that kind of go along with that big question, and just kind of lay it out there and answer them for you, because I get it all the time, and especially this time of year. People are thinking, all right, I bulked up over the winter, or I've gained some excess weight. And this goes for not just competitors, this goes for your everyday person. So you've bulked up, or you've just gained some excess weight from the holidays. So how do you get lean? I get that question all the time, right? And they're like, I bet you do a bunch of cardio. You do a lot of cardio. And honestly, when I'm getting all the way down to an unhealthy level of body fat percentage, because competing in, if you're honestly ready for the stage, you should be at an unhealthy level of body fat percent that you cannot sustain for an extended period of time. All right, so cardio, how much do I do? A lot of these questions are individually based off of each person's body is totally different, right? So I've trained or gotten 12 or so competitors, 15 I think, competitors ready for a competition, and every single one of their cardio schedule is different. All their diets are different. Even if they're the same body weight or the same type frame, you would think it's going to be kind of cookie cutter and the same, but it's not. So cardio, I would do, starting out, around 20 to 25 minutes post-workout. That's another question I get, is when do I do my cardio? I always choose to do it post-workout, and that seems to be the popular choice for most people. The reason being is because you want to be able to put the maximum amount of effort into lifting the actual weight. So if you do cardio before, let's say you do 30 minutes of cardio before, and you get kind of warmed up, and then you also have fatigued yourself a little bit, so maybe you're not going to have that same intensity throughout your entire workout because you're tired from the cardio. So you want to lift first so that you can keep that intensity, and then go do something that's much easier than lifting weights, which is cardio, just based off the fact that you're just moving your own body weight now. Or you're on a machine like a bicycle or an elliptical, where you're just moving the machine based off the resistance that you put on it. All right, so I did 20 to 30 minutes afterwards. If I feel like I'm not dropping body fat fast enough, I could bump it up a little bit, or I would adjust my diet. So that's the second question that I always get. So what do you eat? I bet you eat real clean. So that's another thing that I need to address. Like, what is clean food? Food is food. Clean, I guess if you mean by clean, not processed food, or food that you can, like a lean cuisine meal that is full of sodium and preservatives. No, I don't eat that. So, but by clean food, I don't really know what that doesn't really mean anything. You don't get your just because your chicken breast is chicken breast doesn't make it clean. You don't get it out of the package and wash it with soap. All right. But healthier foods, yes. Okay, so let's be honest with that. That's what you mean by when you say clean foods. And then you say, how much do you eat? You probably starve. You probably don't eat a lot, right? Just straight chicken and salad. That's all you can eat. No, that's not true either. It's all, once again, individual based as far as how I get my athletes ready and how I get myself ready. And this goes for even my clients that I train that have no interest in competing in shows. They just want to live a healthier life. How we get them to a healthy level of body fat percentage is by carb cycling. And that is almost a whole nother video in itself. But what that is, to make a long story short, is one day or for 2 days I'll have lower carbohydrate intakes. And as you get better at it, you can try to drop your carbs down on those low carb days to as low as possible. I wouldn't really recommend, especially if you're not even trying to do a competition, going below 50 to 60 grams of carbs in one day, because they do help the brain work. You don't want to be foggy and your brain being scattered at work or throughout when you're doing what makes you money, what makes your income. You don't want to be doing that. And then, so carb cycling, you have a low day, maybe on a Tuesday, and then Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, you go back to what's considered a maintenance level of carbohydrates or calorie intake, to where you will stay the same weight if you continue to eat that amount of calories. Then again, maybe on Saturday, or when you're not doing as much work, on a Sunday, something like that, when you're resting around the house, you pull those carbs down again, and that allows the body to burn the fat for energy more efficiently than it will because you're not having the carbohydrates to produce energy. So that's how we do that. Then workouts. People think, oh my gosh, you're getting lean, so your workouts probably change a lot, right? You're probably doing a lot of supersets, a lot of just high reps, 25s and 30s and stuff like that. Circuits. No, that's not true either. The main thing that changes from when I'm trying to gain weight or bulking up to getting contest ready and shredded is what I put in my mouth, what foods I'm tracking them, and how much cardio I do. So that's basically just adjusting my caloric intake based off of how much I bring in and what I burn. If I'm trying to gain weight, I eat more than I burn. If I'm trying to lose weight, I eat less or I burn more than I eat. Right? It's really that simple. Now it starts to get more scientific or picky when you have to force your body to an unhealthy level of body fat percentage and still be able to hold on to muscle mass. Once again, that's a whole nother video in itself. All right, so no, my workouts don't change very much. Yes, I'll throw a superset in at the end every now and again, trying to force blood into the muscle and just get what bodybuilders or people in the lifting community call a pump. You just fill the muscle full of blood. I'll throw those in there. I don't really lighten the weight up too much. I'm still trying to hit that 8 to 12 rep range where you're in hypertrophy, which is where the muscle is actually going to grow. And then the last question that you think that I always get is ab exercises. What ab exercises do you do to get your abs to look that way? Once again, it's strictly diet and cardio. I do not do any, I can't say I don't do any weighted ab exercises because I do a rope crunch. When I get that, I get just a mat when you lay down and do abs on. I put the mat down below the cables. I grab the tricep or the rope that you use for tricep extensions, and I put very light amount of weight on there, and I'm going for reps, just trying to flex the abdominals and condition them. So when I'm on stage, I'm flexing and holding. I'm used to that constant squeeze and that constant burn. So I'm hitting high reps there, and I train my abs circuit style. And honestly, during my contest prep and during contest, I would only train them twice a week, maybe 3 times. And it's circuit style. So I pick 3 exercises: the rope crunch, maybe some leg raises, and the ab wheel. And I'll roll through those 4 times each, and I'm done. That's it. It literally takes me 10 to 12 minutes to do my abs. I can normally throw them in at the end of the workout. And one thing that I do want to address about abs, if you're going for that aesthetic look, that V-taper look, the small waist, the broader shoulders, and even for ladies, if you want that smaller waist and the rounder booty, you don't need to be doing heavy weighted side bends. I don't know how many girls and guys I see in the gym grab a heavy weight. Guys will grab like a 65. And I used to be guilty of this too in my younger days. But now that I know and it's out there for you, this information is out there for people, I'm giving it to you. Do not grab a heavy weight and sit there and crank out side bends. Okay, this is a muscle just like this is a muscle. You make this grow just like you make this grow. You're throwing heavy weight on there, it's just going to continue to grow your obliques and you're going to look blockier. All right? So any type of oblique exercises, I don't know if any of you follow me on Instagram. If you don't, it's just my name, Corey Reich. You'll notice that I do have good obliques. And you think, oh man, he's probably doing a bunch of side bends or side crunches. No. The only real oblique exercise that I do, trying to target them, is every once in a while, maybe I'll throw in just sitting down on the ground with a medicine ball and kind of lean back, twist side to side, Russian twist. High reps, just trying to condition the muscle. So once again, when I'm on stage and you're constantly having to hold that flex, you're used to that. So that's really it, guys. We could go more and more detail without having to drag this out too much. I hope that helps you out, and good luck this year. And I'm always here, once again, if you need help. I appreciate it.